Hi, I'm Sarah. I have a daughter, Meredith, who is, first of all, I think lots of fun. Of course, she has a diagnosis as well, but she's managed to get around that. She's managed to walk and talk and be a fun kid. She's very empathetic with other kids in her classroom, and she just is, kind of all about the fun.
Oh, that was when we were talking about things we liked, right?
Oh, is that got
I wonder how that got stuck in there.
I think this was one of our first week of school activities, so the new kids could get to know.
Right.
And you liked, what is that? Cake?
Mm-hmm.
What is this?
I don't know.
Did you glue it on maybe the wrong
For us
side?
teachers, parents are the greatest resource we have. You guys know your students better than anyone. So anything that parents can tell us right off the bat, things their student likes, dislikes, things they need their student to work on that would help at home, all of those things really help us because then we know what to focus on, what's really important to the parent, what's going to benefit the student and at home and after they graduate.
I always like to meet teachers before the school year starts. So I think I believe I came to Kim's classroom that, in May or before. And,
Yeah. Well, and I remember, did y'all come over the summer prior to school
Maybe,
starting
yes,
too?
I think so,
And we did like a tour and showed
Yeah.
Meredith the classroom so that she could kind of see what everything was going to be like.
What else can you show us in here, Meredith?
A lot of.
Show me one of the sheets you've decorated.
Yeah, show a decorated sheet. Can you find
The
one?
fear of the school system and administrators and teachers can absolutely be overwhelming. You're kind of thrust into this special education system and everyone speaks in acronyms and there's all these new words that you've never heard of.
transitions are one of the hardest things that I've faced. Some transitions are easier than others, but trying to meet with a teacher face-to-face, going to meet that teacher before the first day of class can be helpful. Learning what's in her classroom, looking around the classroom, walking around the halls, seeing what's going to be helpful and not helpful, talking to other parents who have kids in that classroom. Really, information is the best way to not be fearful and learn what your environment's going to be like.
Don't be afraid to ask questions. We're there to help. The administrators want to support your student. The teachers want to support your student. And so ask questions. If you are unclear about something, definitely ask what things mean. If there's anything that you need help with, ask.
Information is the only way you're going to gain confidence and not be fearful of those meetings and other things that are going on. This file is from 2015. I have files for every year of Meredith's school, so that's about, she started school with an infant with visual impairment, so basically 19 years of files on my daughter. This is maybe one of the thicker ones. This is from 2015, so this would be her beginning of her senior year.
Yeah.
Yes.
Getting organized is definitely important. I think a lot of times we get into these meetings as both teachers and parents, and we kind of forget all the things that we wanted to remember to say in the meeting. So writing down any questions you have, writing down areas of focus that you want your student to work on, all of these things are really important so that you don't forget in the moment when you're in a room with all of these people. I usually pre-art with most of my parents just to kind of get ideas of what goals you want your student to work on. Let them look over the paperwork in case there's any legal words or any documents within the ARD paperwork that they don't understand so that I can explain those things.
I've had 21 ARDs and almost all of them have been successful largely due to the pre-ARD. It has been everything to me. And also I think talking to Meredith about what she wants, not leaving the child out of the ARD, has also been really, really helpful.
In the meeting, Meredith's there, and I like the meeting to be about Meredith. And so I talk to Meredith at the ARD rather than sit and talk to Sarah.
Yeah, then a third person is really silly when they get older and they're coming to the ARD. I mean, you are talking to that student and your child, and it's a really wonderful transition to have your kid involved like that.
Oh, that's the one we just saw, right?
It's a big book, isn't it, Mary?
What's next?
See if there's a color. Oh,
Yeah, there's
Oh,
one.
wow. Look at that.
Pull it out and tell us why you chose the colors that you did, Mary.
Can you take that one
Take
out?
it out?
Without whipping it.
Yeah.
there you go.
There you go.
Whoa.
Why'd you choose those colors?
I just told them because
So many parents want their student to be involved and have kind of the typical high school experience, but they don't think of things like prom and dances and football games.
Yeah.
And so it's nice to, maybe if that's something that your student's interested in or something that you're interested in for your student, to say, hey, could I get a football schedule?
Yeah.
If there's something like
Right.
that, let me know.
Yeah, I think that's very true, and I think the teachers help families see that their child can be typical. They can do typical things. In high school, for example, with the prom. I think when I first got my child's diagnosis, I think in the abstract, one of my first thoughts was, will she ever go to the prom? You have moments like that, and yes, she will, thanks to her teacher at her high school and all her friends that went.
She had fun.
Yeah, they
was
had a
fun.
great time. Yeah. There are many benefits from inclusion or having kids come into the classroom from general ed. They treat Meredith, as a peer. They don't treat her like a 5-year-old, and that is huge for me. That they talk about, what everybody's wearing and her hair and what she's been doing. So peer interactions like that are invaluable. Highly recommend those.
We do a lot of what's called community-based instruction. And so we have students who work on things like money handling or recognizing sight words. And it's very easy to get comfortable doing that in the classroom. It's the same situation day after day. So what we want to do is make sure that student can generalize that skill in the community and in a real life situation. What's next? If we're typing your name. There you go. Good. Let's do the whole thing. M-E-R, what's next?
Under the E, I guess.
You're right. We want Meredith to be as independent as possible. We want the students to be as independent as possible, prepared for life after graduation. And so, it's important to build a good relationship with the teacher and the parent so that that is always our main focus.
Yeah. Information is your best defense every time.
Communication early is what's needed. We want it to be a two-way street so that we can advocate for your child and do the best that we can to communicate openly, to have the child's success is kind of what we all want. And so the more we communicate, the more open we are, the earlier we start communicating, the more successful that child can be.
Just remember your child has a voice too, and when at all possible, I think it's helpful to communicate with your child about the goals and what their day is going to look like. That can be hard sometimes, but I feel like it's important for the parent and the child to have that, to know about that and to talk about it. Kids receiving special ed services has changed so much. We used to not have kids with disabilities in the hallways, and so I think it's a wonderful thing that we do. I think that my hope is that kids growing up around that in general ed will remember our sons and daughters and someday come back and hire them, employ them, remember them and love them again. And that's my hope.